They can.
That's animais.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, this is 433, a podcast where we talk about a multitude of things. This is Rafa, I'm Carolina, this is Ro. And today we're going to be talking about Daisy Jones and the Six. And if you don't know, go look it up.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
That's a good. That was a good intro.
Thanks.
Damn.
And this is always done.
What?
This was just beautiful because you tried to do this like
Yeah, I did,
6 times in a row, but you just laugh every time you try to,
I
to
don't
start it.
Yeah, I can't
You're like,
do
hi.
It comes in first take, yeah,
Yeah.
a one take wonder.
One take wonder.
We should keep that as like the intro for every single episode, so we don't have to repeat it.
No, because then you lose the magic of the moment.
The
right?
chorus.
Also,
the magic.
Also, in case people haven't heard our previous episode, we spoke about FIFA and about football, if that's more pleasing to your ears than Daisy Jones and the Six, which means you haven't seen the show. So, yeah.
Yeah, because if you have watched the show, you would never in a million years say, put FIFA above it.
I mean, I think that's...
This is a very specific,
I think it's
niche.
very
very
specific.
subjective.
Yes, it's very
Niche
subjective.
opinion.
Very
Niche
subjective.
opinion. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Niche opinion.
It's our opinion, but it's subjective.
Exactly.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's your opinion. You don't really share thoughts and feelings and emotions that much. Let's go into that.
Kind of true, but ouch.
We did say people would laugh, would cry, so... I mean,
Yes.
But this is not a therapy session. Not yet, anyway.
We can do a special episode.
Yeah.
Right. So the big question is, who would you see yourself as?
We should
Like,
probably
who-
explain what Daisy Jones and the Six is before
Yeah,
but
getting
shouldn't-
into that.
Well, but if people have had a look,
Yeah, but maybe
Let's
the people
imagine
that...
they didn't.
Yeah,
a
but if-
reminder.
But if people haven't seen it,
Yeah.
then
Right.
we're kind of giving a synopsis, and
Okay.
people might feel
Exactly.
keen to see.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah. Go on.
go on.
Oh, okay.
You explain. No, you explain what Daisy Jones and the Six
Okay,
is.
Yeah.
so in my understanding, this is
Okay,
This
no,
is,
no, no, no.
You've
Give me
seen
a
it.
chance.
You've seen
Give me a
it.
chance.
You have seen it.
Give me a chance. Okay.
Cut to 10 minutes later.
Says the guy that couldn't do an intro like 10 minutes ago.
No, that's true. But
Don't get
y-
offended.
no,
Jesus.
but wait.
I'm attacking you because I want
Remember what you did for the Lord of the Rings?
Less.
Less.
Okay.
Less.
That was different. Okay.
Yes.
Daisy Jones and the Six is a series about a band starting from nowhere and going to their
highest peak.
highest peak as
A fictional band.
It's fictional, but the series is inspired in a book. Can I say inspired or
It's an adaptation from a book with
Exactly.
the same name, Daisy
that
Jones
was
and the Six.
inspired in a band that actually exists, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, so the writer of the book, I think, looked at this huge band Fleetwood Mac and took a lot of inspiration in that. So it's not a biography or anything, but you can tell
yeah, I
a
think
few
it's
things
both.
are sort of similar.
Yeah, that was good.
That was great.
Thank
yes.
you.
That was
Thank
very
you.
good.
Yes.
See, sometimes you need to give me a chance.
All right, breathe.
Jesus.
Breathe, man. Jesus.
Who are the characters, Rafa?
Main characters. Oh, damn. Right, we've got beautiful, dashing, amazing Daisy Jones.
Woo.
Woo, Daisy Jones. And then, do you want to introduce someone?
You can do it.
I'm forgetting the name of the main character.
Okay, I'll do it. So we have Daisy Jones,
Wait.
which obviously is...
You don't remember his
Daisy
name?
Jones
my
and the
brain
Six.
is forgetting everyone right now.
It's
I
okay.
swear.
One you
I'm
know
so-
for sure.
I'm so glad we're doing
Camilla.
this.
Oh, well, yes,
Yeah.
Camilla, but Camilla's a
So glad
different
we're
story.
doing this.
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, no. So obviously we have Daisy Jones, because Daisy Jones and the Six.
Mhm.
It's self-explanatory. We have Billy Dunn.
Billy Dunn.
Gorgeous Billy Dunn.
Played
We-
by
Sam Claflin, and Daisy Jones played by...
Riley Keough.
Nice. Then we have, Warren Rojas, the coolest drummer in the world.
It's so
The
fun.
coolest.
I'm so sad.
so
I'm so
fun.
sad it's not a real band, because I would watch him all the time. He does have kind of the vibe in a less crazy way from the real
Yeah.
drummer of Fleetwood Mac.
The real drummer looks more that he's on cocaine all the time.
Yeah, he looks.
I
He
wouldn't say
probably
cocaine,
was.
actually.
Yeah.
He probably was on
I'd
something.
probably say acids and,
Yeah,
and like
everything.
psychedelic stuff, because the man was traveling through universe.
I think it probably stopped, but it was so
Through-
in his body that it kept
And I
it kept
think
the look.
I think the video we are referring to of
Oh.
Fleetwood Mac, I think he was sober. I think he was clean by then, because it's in the 90s.
Damn.
And I think by the 90s they were clean, but probably a lot has stuck.
Yeah.
So he looks
Yeah.
crazy. Right, so we have Warren Rojas. Then we have
Camilla.
lovely Camilla.
Yeah.
Camilla Dunn. Then we have
Who
Eddie.
else?
Graham Dunn.
Oh, nice.
Graham Dunn. Graham. Ooh, Graham.
Karen Serko.
Karen.
Lovely, lovely, lovely Karen.
Played
yeah.
by an
Su-
actual musician.
Played by an actual
name?
musician, Suki Waterhouse.
Suki Waterhouse. That's the one.
I think that's the right last name. And obviously our least favorite character, I think, of a lot of shows.
Yep.
Eddie. I
Eddie.
don't know his last name.
Me neither.
Round something, I think. Eddie
Yeah.
something.
Round
Round something.
House.
I
He's the
don't
guy
know.
with the punchable face.
He's the no.
Wait,
whoa,
let's not get there
whoa,
yet.
No,
I think
wait,
that's
yo,
later
yo,
later
yo,
in this
yo.
episode, man.
We're talking about main characters.
Dude. Main
No,
characters.
main characters.
It's Eddie. It's Eddie. It's
Oh,
like
and in our fave, Simone.
oh, Simone.
Simone.
Oh, it's not Eddie.
Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy. And also, fun fact, obviously, for people, is that the actress that plays Simone, she's Brazilian, so she actually speaks the same language as we do.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You didn't know this?
No.
What?
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we
dude.
told you this.
Well, I'm pretty sure he forgot.
Or no, maybe I didn't. Maybe I
Yeah.
didn't. No, yeah, she's
We did a-
Brazilian.
We did a rewatch. We talked about her being Brazilian. I
Maybe-
remember this
No.
clearly.
No, maybe
No.
I didn't tell him. Maybe I just told you, because
Yeah.
we watched alone
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
throughout the actual series.
That
That's
thing I
true,
will
that's
remember.
true.
But it's fine,
so
yeah,
so she's Brazilian, which
she's
is quite
Brazilian.
cool.
Very cool.
Brasil, ziu, ziu.
Brasil, ziu, ziu, ziu.
Brazil, ziu, ziu, ziu.
Vai que é tua, Tafarel. Well, different thing.
Different topic.
Different topic. That's last week's topic. Yeah, so that's it. I think in terms of main characters and
Yeah, that's
overview.
basically it. So, do we want to discuss the plot? Do we want to discuss our feelings towards the plot? Do we want to discuss the events of the
you
plot?
can
and then-
explain whatever you want, but I feel like no spoilers, or keep
Well, we're
spoilers
gonna-
or try to keep spoilers to a minimum.
Yeah.
Or do we want to disclaim to people that there will be spoilers?
Maybe we should disclaim that there will be spoilers.
Okay, guys,
because
there
there's
will be
gonna-
spoilers.
There will be spoilers. Yeah, that's just no.
So
no
if
other
you
way
haven't
around
seen it, go watch it and then come back to this.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Don't forget to come back. Don't leave.
Please do come back.
Yes.
Pause. Open a different tab. Wherever you are.
But don't leave, just come back.
Pause.
We obviously have trust issues.
The worst is like we want them to see everything, which is like 10 episodes.
Yes.
So to do it, we ended
It's
up doing
only-
it in a day.
it's
didn't
only
we?
a
Yeah,
10
So it's
It's only a 10 to 12 hour engagement. So, guys, just pause.
only.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it for 12 hours. Then once you're done, well, go to sleep. Sleep like 5 minutes, and then come back to us.
It's a great day off activity, to be fair.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's actually a very good bingeable.
Especially
series.
because like I feel
it's
like
on Prime Video, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not endorsed or paid by anyone,
No,
but
but-
as you can imagine, but
But if they want,
yeah, we are here. The first 7 episodes. No, listen.
Sorry, yeah.
The first 7 episodes, I feel like fly by as well. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's 45 minutes, but you feel like it's 20.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about that show. It's like the first 4 episodes, it's the pacing of it is so quick that you're just okay, this is cool. You connect to the build up, I feel like, and they just go.
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes. I mean, I can't
It's very
I
clever
can't
the
believe
way
it
they
isn't
use-
20 minutes, you know?
It's very clever the way they use the songs as well. Because in those first episodes, you listen to a lot of like almost full songs. and when it gets like to the later episodes, it's like more snips. So that uses,
I didn't
even though
notice
the last episode I think is a bit bigger.
Also, I don't think that's accurate. So in the first few episodes, we have a lot of the Dunn Brothers song, and they're like,
Yeah, I think
and they're
we're
not full.
Yeah, I think we're introduced to them.
We're introduced to a lot of
But I
songs.
think-
But
I think you have much more music than the last ones. I might be wrong.
I don't think
but
so.
I
I
had-
think
I had
they
that
just
sensation.
distribute it in a different way.
Okay.
yeah,
Because it's the buildup of the plot. So the first few episodes they're explaining. So obviously some songs are needed, like to be made, because the songs are part of the show, right?
Yeah.
Also, disclaimer: they wrote original songs for the show, so they do play them throughout the episodes. I think it's just the build up, because obviously you're introducing your characters, you're introducing the plot, right? And then you kind of introduced another set of characters, our main characters, where the story will be more focused on. And then you build up to the drama, and then there's the drama, and then you move on to the quicker, longer, emotional things.
Yeah.
So I think the level of music usage is probably the same,
Yeah.
but I think it's just used in different ways. At least it's what it felt to me watching it.
Okay.
yeah, that's very. But what? Okay, so how did we get to this?
I don't know.
How did we get?
We
to
just
this?
got here.
Right.
You-
So
We started saying
We
that
get
the
introduced-
beginning episodes go.
yeah, so we
fly
get we
quite
get
fast.
introduced
that's
to so we get introduced to the song sort of as the story progresses, which is very good attention to detail. There's loads of things that are great attention to detail. By the way, there's an actual fictional band on Spotify that you can go listen to. Ladies and Gentlemen, the Six, and they were on some sort of billboard. You know this.
Yeah. They were on the Billboard 100, which is like one of the biggest. I mean, you're a musician.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest charts to be in as a
Yeah.
musician.
It's a fictional band.
It's like Hannah Montana, but adult version. I feel
Yeah.
like the
It's a-
format
Yeah,
of the
we're just
thing.
missing them to do gigs,
Yes, guys.
literally, and it's
Guys.
the
Guys.
music is so nice.
The music is very good. The guy that produced and co-wrote loads of the songs is actually Blake Mills, and he produces loads of John Legend stuff.
Yeah.
So big musician, and surely a lot of other musicians that I just don't know at the moment. But yeah, very good. And the single, the hit single, "Look at Us Now," was co-written with Marcus Mumford from Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, you told.
So that's, I mean, it's legit. Like you have really
Yeah.
big musicians and
Yeah, I
like,
think they made it
professional.
justice, right? Like
absolutely, yeah.
you
And
go,
in-
go on.
And the impressive thing as well that I was gonna say is like only the keyboard player played and sang before, right? Or was a musician of some sort.
Yeah.
All the other ones were like more
And
actors,
I
or
think
am I
I
mistaken?
think the guy that plays Eddie is a musician as well. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I think the one that plays Graham also knew how to play the guitar. I think I know a couple of them have some sort of knowledge of music, but Riley and Sam completely went blind into it, and they did like boot camps and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think it's really impressive, obviously, the production value of it, because they did boot camps and they record everything is them singing and playing, which I think it gives the authentic feeling of a band. So they got all of this time to get in a room, get together, spend all of those hours practicing, recording,
Yeah.
shooting, and then when you watch it, I think you get the feel of a real band because of that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can go watch an interview on YouTube.
And it's
And we'll
it's
talk
really
about
impressive as well, because for somebody that wasn't connected with that side as much, they did amazing. Like they are very, very good performers and like talented as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually brilliant how they just got together such a random group of humans and they built it into a band.
I mean, great casting.
Well,
Yeah.
And I think,
Yes.
casting.
The way you said it looks
the way
like
that
it
you
was
said it,
random.
it looks like they picked up anyone. Like great casting, and I feel like casting is usually oversought in productions and stuff, which is why I'm quite pleased that we now have that for the Oscars, because casting is key. Like if you don't cast the right person, then you miss a lot of it.
Could be
And
a
I-
maker or breaker as well.
100%. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially with Riley Hugh and Sam Claflin, you get the chemistry
Yeah.
and you get all of it. And I think they are great actors, but I think especially in that role for each of them, they really shone through. And I think that's a lot to do with the people that did the casting, because they saw them and they were like, yeah, I see that Daisy in her, and I see that Billy in him.
Yeah.
And casting is huge. So
Yeah,
well
'cause you
done
can-
to them as well.
You can have the best writing in the world, but if you don't have the person to deliver it, right?
And if you lack the chemistry, and if you lack
The
the
tension.
in the willingness, if you lack the passion for that role in itself, if you don't think the role is fit for whoever,
Mhm.
I think you lose a lot of magic in that as well. Sometimes you might not be the most talented, but that role being so good for you,
Yeah.
at least is how I see it. It just makes up for the lack of other things, I think.
Makes it easier as well.
Which is not the case in this case, but sometimes it could be.
Yeah, because it makes it easier. Because it's almost like if the role is kind of made for you, you don't have to put as much effort in a way, because it's more. I'm missing the right word, but it comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like.
It's more organic. It
Thank
flows.
you. Yeah,
right?
it flows easily.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like casting can also like make it. Yeah, obviously, if the flow is easy for that person, it's gonna be easier for everyone around them
Yeah.
as well, and makes everything so
Mhm.
much nicer to work with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so we get past the first few episodes. And I mean, we're gonna go with spoilers, right? So okay, so
So
let's go. I think it's at the end of episode 4. Daisy fucks off to Greece.
Greece.
Is it episode 4? 5?
I thought it was.
I know.
later.
I think it's a little bit later.
That's later.
No, it isn't.
I think it's 5 or 6. Yeah, because episode 8.
Yeah, it needs to be later.
It's she fucks off episode 5. I
It
think
must be 5 or 6. Yeah,
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's 5 or 6. She
So
fucks
she
off
fucks
at
off
the
to Greece. Right?
very end of the
So
episode.
this band is really doing great. I mean, I can't express it how great. Like, there's
Because
you
they
know,
were top of the billboards. On
Yeah.
the
they
series.
were, according to obviously the book
I'm
and the
sorry.
show, they were the biggest rock band of the time.
yeah, of the time, and they have a tour booked, and they recorded the studio album. So they're in the process of getting prepped and rehearsals for tour. And then they had like a 2-week break, and with that 2-week break, Daisy decides to go to Greece. The events of Greece, everyone, made everyone sad. Anyone who watched the show. The reason is, it's not because of Greece,
It's not
because
even sad. It's upset. I
it's
was
upsetting,
plainly
it's-
upset.
it's an outrage, really, because it's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, but
I think it makes us sad. I think we need to disclaim this. I think it made us sad and angry and all of those negative feelings, because before that there was a few moments
there's a few
Yeah.
moments
between our favorites, Billy and Daisy.
So let's paint the picture. I feel like, okay, you'll paint the picture.
Because you skipped a lot of stuff.
We skipped a
Yeah,
lot of
we
things.
skipped a lot of
But I
things.
think because we're
He,
sort of, 'cause we
just
don't
wants
wanna-
he just wants to get to the nitty gritty,
I
like the really bad
I really
things.
do. We don't have all night. I want to get
But you're
right into
you're
it.
the fucking romantic out of the three of us.
All right, so let's do this properly. All right, so we spoke about Billy Dunn and Daisy Jones. I'm gonna go on Billy Dunn right now. Okay, so Billy Dunn is this guy, right? He was the cute boy in high school. He joins his brother's
He's
band.
not cute. He's hot. It's different.
Sure,
Cute,
but
But
like,
he was
fine.
cute as well.
Yeah, he was
as a teenager, he was also
the-
cute.
He was the guy who knew how to play guitar back
Wait,
in high school. Do you
no,
know what I mean?
think let's not do this. I think let's let people go watch it.
Okay.
So I feel like you want to go to the nitty gritty. Let's do it.
He's like,
Simone visits Daisy Jones in Greece.
Simone is Daisy's best friend.
Simone is Daisy's best friend.
I love how he
Daisy.
did like the intense pause, and then talked.
This
It
is
was
very.
beautiful.
good. You're so good.
Simone visit.
So she goes there with her partner.
With her
All the way
partner,
from New
Bernie,
York.
lovely Bernie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bernie, great. We love her. We love them. Everything's going great for Simone at this point in the show. right?
Healthiest couple of this show.
Yes.
Healthiest couple. a round of applause for the healthy couple. But they go and visit. Oh yeah, so because there's a whole, very dramatic message, or what was it, pager?
Yeah,
Whatever
fax
it
is
was,
something
methods
like
of communication back in
a
the
telegram.
70s.
Yeah, Daisy.
Whatever it was,
Daisy is very
Daisy
dramatic.
asked for help.
Very much like you.
Yeah, true. Thank you very much. So Simone and Bernie go down to Greece, and all of a sudden, Daisy has met a guy.
Feeling
His
sick already.
name, I will say this one time. And after that, I'll give him different nicknames. His name is Nicky.
We really don't like Nikki.
We don't like him so much. But anyway, so Simone gets to Greece. There's a whole... Is the wedding basically already planned? Yeah, she's
she's
basically
going to get
already
married,
done.
Yeah.
She's going to get married. So she fucked off from LA. The tour is about to start. Simone is there to help and save Daisy Jones.
Also, nobody knew where she was. I think.
Nobody knew
nobody knew.
where the hell she was, and then she's getting married to Nicky.
I think important thing to say is there was a vibe with Billy and Daisy
I was trying to get into that. You didn't let me.
because you were going into all of the details.
No, I was going to do a short summary of each individual.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going back to that now.
No.
Now we got into the nitty gritty. I'm not going back to that.
No, there was a fight between Daisy and Billy, and obviously that's why it's so upsetting.
There's
But
not just the vibe.
let me just say, Billy was also a dickhead to Daisy, which is what makes her go to Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I feel like I want to know your thoughts on that. Do you think that Daisy should have stayed? Because obviously he said really bad things publicly about her.
Yeah.
So should have she stayed, or good for her that she went to Greece? Let's forget about Nikki for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go?
You go first.
Okay. My thinking is she should have stayed and slapped the hell out of that guy.
Billy.
Yeah. Because the shit he said was out of line. So she should have stayed to confront that. But she didn't. And I think that was wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I do agree. She should have confronted the situation. But as somebody with fear of confrontation, I understand.
some tiny itty bitty issues with
I've been working on it,
confrontation.
but yeah, I see why she was just I just want to run as much as possible from here, and I think that's what generated all the situation, and she just basically getting engaged in a few months, wasn't it?
Weeks, a week.
It was literally
2
weeks.
2 weeks, something like that, which is just
Nikki.
I just want totally the opposite.
I think the substance abuse is also
It was a big deal.
huge important role in the decision making of one's life, right?
For sure.
I think, to be honest,
What do
I
you
think
say?
she did the right thing.
Come on.
I think she did the right thing for her at the time. I don't think, I'm not going to say it's right overall or it's something that I enjoyed, because obviously it wasn't. But I think at the time you do what's right for you. And she felt
She had
like
to
she
get away,
needed to
right?
get away. So she did. Unfortunately, she met someone horrible that she thought it was great. Which haven't we all? So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
it. That's it.
I think he has a very nice first interaction kind of thing. He's
He's
view-
manipulative
Yeah.
because he's very nice and he
Yeah,
says the right
exactly.
things and
Yeah.
all of those
I mean,
different
and
things.
his whole background story doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does make sense, but he can it sounds off, right?
In the book, you go a little bit more into it than in the show.
Because he was a scam, right? He was a con man.
Yeah, in the book, you go into a bit more detail of how what he was saying wasn't exactly true. And here in the show, obviously, because of time and focus on storylines,
I think in the show just sounds too good to be true. It's more
yeah,
like that.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
too good to be true. But obviously, he looks sketchy as fuck. So
He has the
it's
biggest punchable face
has
in
the
the
biggest
world.
punchable
I'm
face.
sorry, actor, whatever your name is. I honestly will never be able to get past the fact that you were Nikki, and that I if I see you on the street, I won't ask for a photo. I won't. I'll want to punch you. I won't, because I'm also a decent human being.
But look, I think that's also a testament that he was a good actor.
Yeah.
That's
Because
true,
hopefully
that's
he's a
true.
good person.
That
You did a
was-
great
that
job,
was
mate.
his-
I hate you.
Hopefully he's a
Hate
much
is a
better
strong word.
person than Nikki.
Nikki.
So.
Well, hopefully.
Well, okay, so nitty gritty, we are upset because we love Daisy and she met someone we don't like, which is the bottom line of this part of the nitty gritty.
And then the way Daisy like is manipulated by Nikki once again, and how she leaves things with Simone.
It's the classic
so
like
hard.
ruining. I think it's so heartbreaking when you see best friends fighting over something that shouldn't really be a fight.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
It does happen
It's
all the
happened with
time.
me, like with my friends, and I'm sure probably I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
same thing for you guys,
Oh
but
yeah, 100%. I
you
mean,
know.
guys usually just punch each other and then become bros and then realize like it's very true.
we are
It's so
passive
true.
aggressive.
We don't know how to deal with emotions. We don't know how to verbalize anything. So
And then
therefore we will punch each
Men
other
need
like
therapy.
apes, and then once we've punched each other like apes and we're down on the concrete, all of us blooding.
Bloody?
What's
Bleeding.
bleeding?
Yeah.
What? So all of us bleeding, and we're all on the concrete. We'll look at each other and be like, "This was stupid. I love you, bro." That's it. That's how things happen. That's
You're
pretty
quite
much
right.
how it
You're
happens.
quite right. Yeah.
Like one of my best friends in this world. Like that's how we met.
I think
Fourth grade was hard, man.
I think I think for girls is a little bit different because obviously we are too in our feelings sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially in teen years. But and
But I think it's isn't it like once you're a bitch in my life, like you were always a bitch in my life?
it depends on the person. It really depends on the
Okay.
person because I feel like something similar to Daisy and Simone. It's just sad. I was so sad because I was imagining me and my best friend having some sort of interaction like that. And I was thinking, fuck that guy. Like if that, because let's also add to the pot that Simone in this world is like the only family that Daisy has. Like, so she's kind of alone in this world.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of issues
she's
trusting.
really alone, right?
She really is. I mean, at this point, she already has the Ben, and the Ben loves her, and she just doesn't accept it.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to deal with that. I think.
And I think she doesn't put the band at that time as an option because of Billy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because the
It's
band
not
was
an option.
represented by Billy in a sense.
It's his Ben.
Yeah.
So that's what you associate with.
It's
Yeah.
the 6.
So it's exactly.
It's
So I
literally the
think
six.
it just adds an extra layer of sadness with that situation, and obviously more hate towards Nikki because like you're completely manipulating something that's actually good for this person that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Which it's really terrible.
It's all about
Yeah, it's-
possession.
It's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
it's a very toxic relationship, toxic guy, and then obviously by you being in that sort of web of events,
It's
then
very sneaky.
it kind of spreads across all your other intersocial.
And it escalates as well.
It escalates
because,
so
because
quickly.
obviously like episode 8 terrible, we don't need to go
Yeah.
into that, but
we have to, I
And
think.
you
No,
don't
we
see
don't
it
have
coming
to.
as well. He's so sneaky about it that you don't see it coming. Like in her situation. Because
yeah, she wouldn't. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
You're also like in awe with the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
that
yeah.
you know, kind of.
And I think when you're in that position as well, and like huge testament to Riley Keough's acting is, you know, the person that you want you can't have, so, and you see this dreamy version of something else that wants you when the
Yeah.
one that you want doesn't want you.
Yeah.
It's so she thinks. So I think it's really interesting the way that they play it.
It's a
in
very
the,
natural
in
coping
that-
mechanism of things.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's super realistic in the sense of, and I think that's part of like good scripts. It's like when people act like people. Like I think something very obvious in a bad script is like when people are speaking in very weird ways, like and very robotic, or that doesn't feel natural.
Or if
And
the acting is forced in itself,
Yeah.
like you can have a
Yeah.
good script, but like if you don't have a good actor,
Yeah, but I like
Yeah.
organic escalation of things. Like it's a little bit like maybe weird opinion, but with Breaking Bad, all the events have a natural sort of organic escalation of it. So it's like there's a very easy justification of drama.
Yeah.
If there's an explosion, there's going to be a very easy, simple explanation to why that happened. It's not because some car flew around the
And
like
it's
the
just funny-
motorway or some crazy stuff like that. It's a very this happened.
And it's just funny because if you saw that moment itself just out of nowhere, it would be like, what the hell is this? It's
Yeah. You get
But
to those
because you
crazy
get the-
moments,
yeah.
but because everything escalates in a natural sort of progressional way,
Yeah.
it just feels like
just normal.
and that's maybe a reason why you don't see it coming, because we ourselves in our daily lives, we don't see our future coming in that sense, right? We don't see how doing specific set of tasks or routines or whatever impacts the 3 weeks time, so to speak. You see the years maybe, right, if you're inclined to think that far ahead, but if you're not that inclined that way, you won't even think about it.
Yeah.
And that's what's really great about this show. It's like it's just well written. Everything just makes sense. There's no point where we're like, what? She would never do that.
I think
Right?
I think it's really because it's a package. Like it takes a village. I think it's great script writing, great acting, but then the makeup department, the wardrobe, like the clothes, it
the
feels
clothes.
like you're in the
Yeah.
70s. Like you look at it, and
Warren,
Yeah.
like his whole dress wear, everything.
everyone. Like when Daisy's walking in the strip, like I'm obviously not from the 70s. I wasn't even born or thought of at the time. But from every other thing that I've seen, or even like family photos or whatever, it feels like you're in the 70s. The attention to detail to the sets, so set design is fantastic. Everything is in place, which then it makes the whole experience a lot more believable, a lot more real, a lot more organic, which then obviously plays into the actors feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
It's the makeup, it's the hair, all of it makes you get into those
The
characters.
cars.
The cars.
Sorry, but
The
the
cars.
The cars.
Very well said.
That's
yeah.
true. So I think all of it makes sense. The way that they use the music in itself, because sometimes it's a fine line. I think it can either be too much, too little. You don't want to push those boundaries because it can make it. It can make. To quote
Yeah.
Daisy Jones in the Six, it can make something good bad.
And even
Yeah.
even the songs that are not from the Daisy Jones and the Six that they introduce in the series,
The
are
soundtrack is
so
phenomenal.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
Even
good.
the titles of the episodes, they're all songs from the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
titles
yeah.
from the 70s, and like
Yeah, the
they're
attention to
great
detail of the
songs.
Yeah.
show. The attention to detail.
The credits, like the intro credits, obviously it's the negatives from Camilla's
Yeah, I mean,
camera.
yeah.
Like
the Warren's boat.
Warren's boat is called
Marina-
Aurora, and it's
No, Marina Del Rey.
where it's at, but the
Oh
boat
yeah,
in
it's
itself
called
is
Aurora.
called Aurora.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I think
And the
it's
vest. Sorry.
The vest. Oh, shut up about the vest, because we're what vest? This vest. Like, no.
Yeah. No, you took it.
You
Yeah.
you were
Just to
really
understand
you were
which-
really struggling with that.
And that was after you. That's
you
when
saw
we,
it.
Vests.
But it,
Yeah,
it
but it's-
specifically says a fur vest.
Yes.
In all of the vests that we saw between
not
him
fur.
saying that and actually the fur vest, they were not fur, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with you. All right,
But that's
question.
not-
Why do you like the show?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's a very good question. I think it's a mixture of stuff, because obviously I already talked about how the tension between the two main characters and the character development and the story, it's so well done and authentic and organic. But I think as well is that as a band as well, you see them starting from nowhere and the struggles, literally they're saving money to like buy a van and literally paying for almost no one, and then especially for me as a musician, like it took me back to my high school years as well. So I think there's a little nostalgia for me in that sense. but I think it's almost like you feel like anything is possible because if they made it, you know what I mean, even though it's like it's fictional, but there's so many stories like that, but it just makes you dream a lot, and it gets you really like inspired, I think. Yeah,
I think that's something you said is quite interesting. It is fictional, but all that it represents is very accurate, and stories told over and over again. And I think that that's huge, isn't it? For me, I think this. I mean, the show had a huge impact on me in terms of, because it's the love story, and it's the fire water love story that we've discussed. So, for those who didn't click, but you've watched the show, Daisy Jones represents fire in our opinions, and then Camilla,
and it's also in the book. Billy says this. Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does.
And then Camilla is water. So if you think of what those elements sort of bring you, that's what those people bring to your life. And then Billy, in that sense, like he's got a big decision to make, which is like it's the whole dilemma between water and fire. Like, who do you choose? Do you choose sustainable, consistent, strong, homely love, or do you choose the fiery, passion-driven, completely batshit crazy and escalating out of the roof sort of love? And I think that touched me a lot because, I mean, the discussions, I'm a hopeless romantic. And then on top of that, like I gravitate towards the water, but then seeing what the fire looks like, it's like, oh, damn, that's a whole different side of life. You know what I'm saying?
The intensity is very desirable. The intensity,
as well, it's the intensity. And sure, I think we've all had our experiences with the water life, the water and fire sort of relationships.
Yeah.
But we know, and those have had their endings because but it's interesting how coming to that now at this age, it makes it creates a whole different spectrum of things. And that to me was huge.
Nice. So why do you like it?
You guys said
why do you like?
No. You know what? 1, 2, 3. Why do you like it?
Thanks, guys. You're really keen to know my thoughts on this. I think it's a lot of things. This is a I want to be a producer. I sort of am. And I love Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's production company. Mm-hmm. And they tend to put out great show after great show after great show. I honestly haven't seen anything from Hello Sunshine that I didn't like. But this one in particular, so to the producer side of me and to the creative in me and film TV lover, I can't fault it, which then it just brings a whole level of excitement with the industry in itself. So pieces of work like this make me feel really, really excited about the industry. And I think everyone did a phenomenal job, as we've spoken. Then obviously the personal aspect, the softy or the vulnerable or the caring or whatever side of you, the side of you that has feelings, essentially. I think I loved it because you had a strong, powerful woman, but women in itself, Camilla and Karen also have that in the 70s in the music industry. That's not very common. You didn't see that a lot. It's
not a story that gets told over and over again.
No. And you didn't see that a lot. And obviously you had Johnny Mitchell, Janis Joplin, and Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, and they were like powerhouses. But usually you had that kind of more submissive vibe. You can just go watch YouTube videos of Fleetwood Mac interviews, and the questions asked to the females, completely outrageous. And what I really liked about this was that he had Daisy, which is not your common character. She's not your common front-leading woman. And she brings all of that. Riley brings all of that. And you really believe her. And you are rooting for her. You really want her to do well. You really want her to succeed, and you want her to get the best out of whatever that she wants.
Yeah.
And I think I love stories that make me feel things. I love to feel connected to the characters, to the storyline. She made me feel like anything was possible, like as you were saying. And to me, especially being a woman, it's very touching, and there is some sort of connection in that. Obviously, then the love story, which is very complex and it's not easy, and it's very real because I don't think love is easy. I think it's very complex. And then music. I love music. It's a huge part of my life. And in my very own productions, I'm very, very picky about music, and it's really essential. So I think you mix all good things, like all of the best things in life, you put on that show. And sure, it's subjective if people like it or not. But I think technically speaking, they really, really nailed it. And then as a viewer, they did the most important thing. They made me feel something. So yeah. That's
and
why I like it.
It's a journey, isn't it? Like you start at one place, you don't end at the same time. Which
Absolutely not.
Which connects to something in the show, but
Exactly.
But it's
Nice
a
touch.
Nice touch. Very
yeah,
nice
but
touch.
it's
Go watch it and come back to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it will make sense.
But yeah, it's one of those great shows that does that for you, and when it leaves you in a such a different mind space and with a completely different and your opinions change. I feel like you, even though yes you like this person and you like that person and you want to see maybe those two together or whatever, like you still there's still a flow and a storyline of you with the particular character.
Yeah.
Like our feelings towards Eddie, they escalated.
And even like there's a moment where you kind of get on his side a little bit.
You feel bad. I wasn't on his side, but you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
There is a moment where you
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
he's being
So
he's
you're
being
in,
thrown around. Like
Yeah.
he's being fooled a little bit. But I agree with you, and it's so true because I watched the first 2 episodes when they came out alone, and I didn't really get Daisy. The first time I watched it on my, because obviously I watched episode 3 from episode 3 with you, but 1 and 2 I watched on my own before I watched with you. And I finished the thing liking it, which I thought I wasn't going to like because I saw the trailer and I thought it was not going to be a good show. It doesn't happen a lot, but you know, sometimes it does. I wasn't sure. I wasn't entirely sure about Daisy. But it's what you're saying. You're not always in the same place. Your opinions change and your view changes.
Like Billy is a dick at one point, and Billy is also like a loving father at another point. Yeah, sure.
Billy is a dick
A few
all
points.
the time.
It's not just one point.
In the same points all the time.
I wouldn't say so.
No, I love Billy. I think
the man also went through some shit.
Yeah, but it's
right?
not just one point. That's
I
the only
love
thing
Billy. I love Billy. But what I'm coming to is more of the mind space when you're watching something, which is what I understood from what you were saying, more than the feeling something towards something. Because once I got Daisy, I was all in for Daisy. But I needed to understand her, I think, to do it. And I read the book in a go
as well, I think. In a way.
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't really know because I don't have anything to compare to in that sense. But after finishing the 2 first episodes, I was so hooked on the show. Generally speaking, I bought the book and I read the book in like a night.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something like that.
I didn't go to sleep, or I had to make myself sleep, and then
and then they hit you with a plot twist.
And then they hit me with a plot. I mean, it wasn't a huge plot twist, but
still, it was enough for you to.
They made it better. I would say I really like the book, and I recommend people to read it. It's
Taylor Jenkins Reid, right?
Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six.
I think one of my favorite sentences come from that book because I think you told me.
If everyone was silver, Daisy was gold.
That sentence is beautiful.
I wrote it for you, like
I still have it.
Yeah, I wrote it for you, like if it would inspire your music writing. Yeah,
it did as well.
Because
it's gorgeous.
I think it's a beautiful sentence, and Simone says it in the book, which is even better.
Yeah.
But I think the changes that they made for the show, they made it better. So
which is not usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely show. We've done well, we've watched it the very first time, and then you watched it by yourself. Was it?
No, I watched with Carolina. Yeah.
Wait, did you
No,
only?
it's just no. I watched with you first.
No, we watched the three of us together.
No. I just
Yeah, we
watched with
did.
you.
No. He was here as well. We did it weekly. We did it. Yeah. He was with us.
No.
I think
when
I-
you
I-
watched it,
It
no,
was
so,
just me and you.
No, so we did a whole binge.
We did a whole binge recently.
Yeah.
Yes,
But we
My
we-
first time was just with you. I
was
think.
it? I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
was with us at least for a couple of episodes. Maybe yeah. Maybe he wasn't. But we did the same format of the show. We did
Yeah.
like two.
I am so
2,
happy
3.
that even when I'm not there, you're thinking that I was. I
Sure.
feel so present in your memories. It's
Of
just so
course.
great. So
Oh,
great.
good.
The attention-seeking whore in me is loving this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Anyway, back to
Yes, you were saying.
the. I don't know what I was saying. I was
You were
something.
saying that for the very first time you watched. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, because we've watched it now. I would say 2 times fully. Well,
I
wait,
watched
3
it 2
times at
times.
least.
I've watched
We've
it three. It's
We've rewatched it for sure. The two of us.
No, we haven't, because we were waiting for the binge with him. So I watched it fully with you, watched it fully with him, and then fully the three of
Yeah.
us.
I watched
Exactly.
it more than twice though.
So you were watching by yourself.
Maybe you're dreaming.
Maybe I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Daisy. But yeah, so we've watched it 2 times, 3 times for you. And the show doesn't get. It's one of those shows you can rewatch and
Yeah.
you just.
It doesn't get old.
It stays with
kind
you.
of
The
thing, yeah.
emotions are still there, and you still live things the same way. Obviously, we are somewhat more invested than maybe the average person, or the.
We haven't talked with nobody else that saw it as well. To be fair.
Wait,
People might not like it.
Yeah, it's true.
I have a friend that didn't like it, and I
It's
thought she
true.
was going to like it.
Yeah.
Thought she was going to love it.
The pain on his face.
No, but I think people
You shall
have.
not call her friend anymore.
Jeez.
Joking.
I think people have different levels of
It's true.
commitment to things,
And
which is one,
involvement as
and commitment and involvement, I feel
Oh, yeah,
like will
yeah,
kind of
yeah, you're right.
go hand in hand. So I think that plays a big part.
Yeah.
And obviously, it might touch us more
Yeah.
than someone else, and it might touch someone else more than it touches us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again.
100%.
Art is
It's
very
such-
subjective stuff.
Exactly.
But it's such a great show. It's just one of those things. And then at the end, you get to, because the whole thing is a documentary, right? So I guess we
So the
didn't
four-
even we didn't even acknowledge this, but
Yeah.
the whole thing is actually an inception.
It's a meta- it's a
all
meta
a
experience.
flashback, really.
It's
It's all a flashback.
It's beautifully done, and
Yeah,
it's
it's-
beautifully written in that way, because I've never experienced that. Which it's a fiction, but it's written in a documentary version.
Yeah.
Which just kind of breaks your brain, right?
A little bit, but
It
it's
breaks your
so
brain, but
good.
it's so
Yeah.
good. And then at the end,
Because it feels real the way they do it. Yeah.
the filmmaker behind the camera is Billy Dunn's daughter. This is not.
Big spoiler.
Big-
We did
I mean-
say there was going to be spoilers.
I mean, it's in the book.
That
At the very end.
that can't be your justification of like
No.
spoiling it.
No,
listen, we
it's fine.
said about the spoil.
It's like
Yeah.
you haven't
Let's
watched
move
it.
on.
Is
Let's
in the book.
move on. It's
Let's move
fine.
on.
So the whole thing is a documentary, and what an inception! Crazy. What's going on? It's Billy Dunn's daughter, the filmmaker behind the camera. There's a whole extra message. It ends in a beautiful, beautiful way. But I think you don't think that there's going to be a second season, and there's no reason for it, really.
I'm pretty sure there won't be.
I kind of hope there's no second season.
Oof.
I
Big one.
think it's one of those
He
things that I
hopes
think
it.
it's
That's big word.
just because I think it's so good. Like it.
I
As a
want to
standalone.
ruin it.
Exactly, because there's so many series that they didn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is so well done.
Yeah, but think
That-
about just having a little bit more of Daisy and Billy
Just
Dunn.
rewatch it.
I
in
think
the 6.
I think that's the romantic part of us and the invested part of us that would love to at least have a second season where we find out what happened. Which I get, but I'm half and half. I'm 50 with you, I'm 50 with him. there won't be a second season, I don't think, unless there's a follow-up book,
Well,
which
yeah.
I find it very difficult.
That's the big part. Or Taylor Jenkins Reid decides to just write for the show, which
No,
I wouldn't say it would happen, right?
I don't know. She's a book writer. She's not a screenwriter, I don't think.
Right.
I don't know if she ever wrote like just for scripts. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the premise is there would have to be another book, the continuation of the story, in a very natural, good way for them to do it, because I think, like you were saying, everyone has the notion of it's good as is.
Yeah.
And also it's an ending that it's quite open and you can imagine whatever you want.
That's what I like
and
as well.
maybe imagination does leave it, makes it
Better.
makes justice to the thing, whereas maybe the second season wouldn't make justice to your
Yeah.
expectations of the thing.
And
Exactly.
you can always, with the second season, open more questions or more things, and then you can't really answer or close them.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you kind of ticked all the boxes,
Yeah.
and the only open thing is the ending. But it's a half open ending.
Yeah.
The only bit that it's open is for your imagination, but they're telling you everything really.
Yeah, and it's an open that it doesn't get you like annoyed. Where sometimes there's openings that are like, no, I need an answer to this. I need to know this.
Yeah,
this
is-
one is kind of like
It's like a dick move sort of
it's,
thing, right?
it's I kind of like it.
But
You know
that's
what I mean?
why. But that's exactly what I'm saying. It's open in a way that it still answers the
Yeah.
question, but it's open enough for you to imagine whatever you want out of the last like 10 seconds of the
Yeah.
show. So yeah, I think that's great they did that.
Cool. I think that sums it
Why
up.
why should people go watch this?
People should go watch it because Riley Keough is a motherfucking queen, and we've got her on the table to prove that.
It's true.
And I'm not going to show it because
And it's also one of the best interviews I've read. Seriously,
The
the
Vanity Fair
Vanity
article.
Fair article on Riley Keough where she's the cover, I think not only Riley Keough being interviewed, I think generally speaking is one of the best interviews I've read.
it's a brilliant show, brilliant casting, brilliant writing. Prime, Hello Sunshine did a great job. There's all the reasons to go watch it. For me, it's the love story, and that's it. That
It's
sells.
just a great show.
It's a great show.
I think, let's keep it simple. I think if you want to escape reality,
Beautiful.
I think
Yeah.
if you want to escape, and I feel like if you just enjoy the 70s as well,
Oh yeah.
and a good complex love story, not just romantically, because I feel like
There's
the show
loads of love.
there's loads of love. There's like brotherly love. There's female love.
And
I
think
feel like
there's a huge big part of it is connection,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because the audience, the connection with the
Between the
band,
characters
the
as
connection
well.
in family roots and
Yeah.
stuff, right? I think connection
or the lack of
yeah,
that
Yeah.
propels other
right,
connections.
right. Camilla saying to Riley, the whole
Daisy.
Jesus, yeah, but to Daisy, who's Riley,
Yeah. Yeah, but Simone and
Yeah,
Daisy, they're
yes,
they're
yes.
chosen family, much like the three of us.
connection is a big, it's a big topic.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so
And
go
even
watch
though
it.
we don't know if there's going to be a second season, for sure there's going to be another episode of us.
Yeah.
Yay.
no.
Oh, damn.
Yes, there will.
And with that, we will leave you till the next one.
Go watch Daisy Jones and the Six.